as the world turns, and so does the scumbaggery at these Dodge dealerships. And I'm sure people who live in Florida know firsthand truly how these Dodge dealerships are. And Arrigo Sawgrass, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and Tamarack, Florida takes the cake. From toying with a customer multiple times by selling a vehicle underneath him to promising to get him a Demon 170 at several different price points. But what if I told you that this dealership played with this customer even more by having him ship multiple vehicles over 1,400 miles just to renege on a deal? Now, most of the story I've gotten from receipts, window stickers, purchase order, text messages, and some more items that I won't mention. But from what I've gathered for this particular video, this mess simply started when a customer just reached out to this particular dealership in the first place over a granite crystal super stock from this Arrigo Sawgrass, or Sawgrass, whatever the heck you want to call this name. These names kill me. I would love to say that Arrigo was a stand-up dealership and sold him this super stock at MSRP, but there was a $25K markup that was agreed upon between the customer and Arrigo. So not really a horrible markup, considering that everyone was under the assumption that there would be about 118 super stocks in the entire country, because that's what the horsepower locator told us. So just like any regular person would do, you would put down a deposit on one of these rare vehicles, and you'll see this in this particular receipt. But Arrigo pulled a Mac Hake move of treating customers last and sold the super stock from underneath him to another customer for $50,000 over sticker. And so after multiple back and forths with the salesman, and then the salesman get one of his managers involved and back and forth with him, one of the Arrigo solutions was to go get him a used super stock that someone already bought, and then claim that they can modify the Carfax, modify the paperwork to make the customer the now first owner of the vehicle that was already sold to someone else. And now we're on to the whole drama with the Demon 170, because this particular manager says, well, I could probably get your Demon 170 as a consolation prize for backstabbing you on a super stock. So now this particular manager, who thinks he's like a 1% owner of the particular dealership, because he keeps writing checks that the owner just simply won't cash. Now, I've seen numbers from this manager growing from MSRP to, hey, can you do 10K over? Hey, I think I can get the deal done at 20K over. Hey, come on, and you know what? Don't even worry about we can't lock up a demon right now. Just bring your trades down here and we'll just sort all this crap out. You know what? I call the shots around here at the dealership. I'm the director of variable operations, which I never heard of that title before. And I think his job title is a little misleading. I think that this manager is like the director of variable deals that fall through, because I can imagine at this particular point in the story how hard it is to arrange shipment for one huge Silverado 3500 dually, especially when there is no deal locked in place for a Demon 170. But it's something entirely different to arrange shipping for 3 Silverado 3500 dualies from Massachusetts to Florida, and there is still no deal in place for a Demon 170. Now, guys and gals, I love paperwork, and this director of variable stories, he sends the customer 3 awesome documents with the dealership's intent to purchase those 3 Silverado 3500 dualies, one at $47K, another one at $47K, and then lastly, another one at $50K. So we have basically what, $144,000 to go towards the variable Demon 170 price that no one can lock down, because the story keeps changing over and over again. So now the customer has his 3 Silverado 3500 dualies transferred down to the dealership, and you would think that, you get 3 trades going over 1,400 miles, you would think that a deal is going to happen. But come to find out, the director of variables, the #1 guy, the guy who paid for the trucks to come down to the dealership before a price was hammered out on a single Demon 170, one of the owners of the dealership, he vetoes all the trades. He literally, from what the truck driver said, He literally came out, said, nope, we're not taking none of these trucks. He didn't even look at them. He said, nope, we're not taking none of these trades. This guy was not authorized to actually do all this crap with these trucks and get them out of here. Whew. 1 day later. But now the owner, who learns of this whole veto of all his trades down there in Florida, now he has to pay himself to get all 3 of his 3,500 trucks sent back to Massachusetts. And I know someone's gonna say, hey, well, you know, maybe the trucks were not in a good condition. They were probably rough being from Massachusetts. They got salt all on them and all this other stuff. Well, the customer put the trucks up for sale back up north in Massachusetts, and you can see that he's getting pretty close to the number that he would have gotten from Arrigo. And our little director of variable operations and #1 guy apparently, well, word around the campfire is down there at Arrigo that he's pretty much fired. Every time the customer kept talking to this dealership, the numbers on these cars kept changing. From the super stock changing from 25 to oh, we sold 50K over. Oh, we just sold a Demon 170 for 200K out the door. Oh, we are firm at 150K over. Hey, they'll sell me a Demon 170 at 50K, but you can buy it from me. Do you want it? I mean, this director of variable stores has played so many games with this one customer. Even I couldn't believe all these different numbers that are thrown out with these Demon 170s. And from talking to the owner of Arrigo Sawgrass Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it seems that the sales manager at the center of this whole scandal was the main culprit behind this drama. Now, I don't have every single text message exchange between all parties involved, so I can't 100% tell you guys what exactly happened. But what I can say is that the owner of Arrigo Sawgrass, he seems to be sincere in trying to make the situation right, and 100%, if it was not for TK Garage's video that kind of woke this whole dealership group up, all this crap probably would have still been going on behind the scenes, and the management at this particular dealership would have never known about it. And because of TK's involvement, him making his videos, action has now been taken at this dealership. The director of variable failed deals has now been fired, and now the owner wants to make it right with the customer. I was told the customer's money by the owner will be refunded. So firstly, the deposit that he placed on his failed Superstock deal from 6 months ago, that's gonna be refunded to him on his credit card. Now, I don't know exactly who sold the customer's initial Superstock, the Granite Crystal one that I talked about earlier in this video. I don't know whether it was the owner that did it or whether it was a salesman that did it. They kind of lied, put it off on the owner and stuff. But it seems to look at some of these text messages, these guys are talking crap about their boss behind their back. And so all I know is a deposit was placed, and the customer should not have found out on Carfax that his car was sold, and he was never informed. Like, the salesman should have told him that, you know, this happened, rather than him having to call the dealership to verify that his car is gone. Now, the second part of the story is with those 3 trucks going down there to Florida, and apparently that was all of the whole director of variable failed options, part of his scheme to get those trucks down there. And it kind of seems as though he was trying to work the deal to where he can make some money off of it. And maybe, just maybe, he wanted to use some of that money to go towards his business and he was trying to solicit that the customer get involved in. But whatever it is, I know that the owner of Arrigo, he wants to refund the customer back that money, the transport costs taking his trucks from Florida back into Massachusetts. And so hopefully those two will connect and figure out what that dollar amount is, because I don't know what it is myself personally. And whatever else happens after that, we'll see. All of this is kind of happening in real time, and I'm sure we'll get some more update videos from either me and TK about the resolution of this situation. But this is a prime example where some of the salesmen and managers think they are the top dog and they let it get to their head. Mac Hake, you had a GM and a salesman in this little money scheme, and both of those guys got fired. Greensboro, you had this crap with the general service manager and the customer, and the GM gets fired. You have over there at Huntington Beach where you have the salesman that plays the cop who had to go to like another state to go get a charger somewhere else. That guy got fired. But it is taking YouTube videos to expose the BS with some of these lower tier guys And that's the only way it seems that changes are happening at these dealerships. I would say there would need to be a better check on these underlings at these dealerships, or else these next few videos are gonna be made about these particular dealerships that don't want to clean their own house. And apparently YouTubers have to do it for them. In the case of this Arrigo dealership, the owner seems as though he wants to make the situation right with the customer, because the customer was, at the end of the day, regardless of what happened, he was strung along for several months in this whole nonsense involving the salesman and the sales manager. I don't know exactly what happened, like I said, but I do know what happened is it just doesn't seem right, and it's not right because at the end of the day, the customer, he's out money, and those guys thought they could just get away with nonsense, trying to solicit business and trying to talk crap about their boss behind his back. I will say there is some upcoming videos that 100% does involve the owner, but you gotta stay tuned for that one. But let me know what you guys think about this particular situation. Should managers be soliciting investments from people who are trying to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a D170? Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, because over 85% of you guys who keeps watching me every day doesn't do it. Until the next video, I'm out.
Hi everybody, you having fun? This turnout is unbelievable. My God. We said we're gonna throw a party on a Monday night in Vegas and this many people show up. It's unreal. Whether you've been here all day watching the Horsepower Circus live or you're tuned into the live stream from around the world, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And I want to give a special shout out and thank you to our dealers